That's the sip of satisfaction and happiness.
And look at that.
That was a long sip.
It is a good sip.
At that.
It is a.
It's a sip.
This episode of Zillo Boyz Podcast is brought to you by this mug of Admiral Akbar, who tragically died in The Last Jedi. We will miss you and your traps. This episode of the Zillo Boyz Podcast is also brought to you by WandaVision. In honor of that, Peter, tell a joke, and Ernesto, we will be the laugh track. Peter, go.
So, this has been bugging me for a bit. Is butt cheeks one word, or should I spread them apart?
Good dad joke, man.
I already told that joke.
I know. Earlier it hit, but just right there on the camera, it was like,
Oh, I got another good one. How does Hitler tie his shoes?
We're starting off perfect.
I know, right? Come on. Okay, how?
How does Hitler tie his shoes?
How does he tie his shoes, Peter?
Bending over?
With little Nazis. Yeah. That one always hits.
No, yeah. That's not the first one hit the first time, but
Right.
but yeah.
We're getting canceled for that joke.
All right.
We have 38 subscribers, and all of them now hate us.
Right.
Or they're laughing with us.
All right, good morning, greetings, hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the Zillo Boyz Podcast. I'm Jacob, the Larry, the King, Sizemore. Across from me is the man bun, the myth, the legend, Ernesto Gonzalez.
The Larry the King.
The Larry the King.
Sizemore.
That's my full garbage name.
Rest in peace, Larry
Yeah,
King.
Ernesto's here. Ernesto, the Gonzalez, next to my boy over here, coming in with another special guest star, Peter over here. What's going on, my man?
Hey, bud. Happy to be back.
Right on. Ready to talk some
Ready
whatever.
to talk ridiculous stuff. Yeah.
Just crazy stuff. We were talking about flying cars earlier and the lack thereof, but yeah, we're ready to get down. What's going on, Jacob?
All right, so this week in Nerd Culture Garbage, we have WandaVision Episode 8 review. So last time, me and Ernesto, you and I talked about the garbage. Well, not I want to say 100% garbage, but the interesting stuff that happened in the last episode.
Garbage,
So in the words of that guy from Dumb and Dumber, you totally redeemed yourself. This was a good episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, cried a little.
Yeah.
Why'd you
Cried a
cry?
little.
Why'd you cry a little bit?
I really felt for Wanda.
Oh yeah,
felt for her.
That was dark, man. Like that was pretty tripped out, man. Yeah, I feel you.
Just being taken down like the entire rabbit hole of her past.
Spoilers. Also spoilers.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to say that, and I've never said that. I feel like I just need to put this in the very beginning of the video because my dumb face just always forgets every time. I say like the most important spoiler, and then we finally get into it.
Oh yeah, I forgot spoilers. If you haven't,
Yeah.
Okay.
Major spoilers.
Yeah. But real quick, because we didn't actually get what was your opinion on the other episodes leading up to this? Because we get context in this episode that we didn't get in the other episodes. What did you think of the whole series as a whole before this episode?
I mean, for one, I loved their conceptual ideas episode to episode.
Yeah.
You know, like they, making each episode essentially a different era or a different like genre of TV.
Yeah.
In a way. So like the 90s episode was fantastic, just stylistically, like how they do like the intros. But like, I don't know. Popping back and forth between like her fantasy world and reality, I thought was an interesting take. Just how like she's completely blind to it and everyone else is just like, this is an anomaly, like, and yeah, so having that context, I haven't seen it all actually like pieced back together, or actually like how all the strings are tied together.
Yeah,
and yeah, I love it. It's so well done.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could elaborate more, but it's so well done.
Hers and what's her name again? The person who plays WandaVision? I'm forgetting her name. Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen, yeah.
Man, she's a wonderful actress.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't think she ever wasn't a wonderful actress, but she really got to actually stretch her chops in this series.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, weirdly, like I thought she was kind of like an overlooked character in like the Avengers films.
Yeah.
I went back and watched Endgame recently, just because I don't know, like after watching some of WandaVision, and I'm like, man, you know what? I haven't really like given her enough credit. I haven't like paid attention to what she's doing in all of these movies.
Yeah.
Right. And so like and this is also what I love about the series is that it like, and they even, I guess they even did this in the most recent episode where they're like talking about her accents like shift.
Yeah.
How it comes and goes. And I think I talked about this last time I was here.
We did, yeah.
But
They elaborate on it, yeah.
But I went back and watched Endgame recently and just kind of paid attention to Wanda. And she only really shows up at the end of the movie. Like because she was dusted and then like brought back at the final fight. But like, yeah, what was it? Like, yeah, there was, the final battle. Like there's a part where she's essentially about to destroy Thanos. Yeah. And he's like, rain fire now, and they're like, but our troops, and he's like, just do it, and then that's the only way like Thanos was able to stop her.
She was gonna kill him.
Well, because she was like, before she started like basically tearing him apart, she was tearing his armor off, like, and before she was doing that, she said, you took everything from me. And that's like, and I'm just like, oh man, this totally makes sense now.
Yeah.
like why WandaVision exists is because like her mind was split. Like,
you definitely get a sense at the very end of this episode. Well, not the very end of this episode, but when we're getting the flashbacks with Agatha going back in time and reliving the events of what became of her up until this point, and she goes to the house where she was going to live with Vision after all of this crap went down.
Yeah,
and it says, we can grow old together. And that, I think that just clicks with her. Even though, like in Endgame, you see at the very end of Endgame, everyone's happy. Like you see Black Panther in Wakanda. You see Ant-Man and his people, his two people. And all these people got their happy endings. And then Wanda has nothing. She doesn't have Vision. She doesn't have her brother. She doesn't have family. She doesn't have a house to live in. She has nothing. And I think that's the thing that broke her. And that's reading that one line broke her. And that was such an emotionally powerful scene. And Elizabeth Olsen killed it.
Yep.
Ernesto, I didn't ask you anything. I ignored your face.
What I thought was really, really cool is that they showed her like being experimented on with the Mind Stone. And they showed her getting exposed to it. And then Agatha Harkness says, that stone didn't do anything to you to increase your power. It just like focused what was already there and brought that was inside of you out of you. So the stone didn't even power her. It just brought it out. So I thought that was really cool, man. You know,
I think that's how they're trying to like sneak the whole mutant element into the MCU. Like that line, what you're saying, like Agatha being like
even she's a powerful witch, you know. She was a powerful witch too. Like she was sucking all those people, like all those witches' power, and then got her mom's, cool. And she was like, just bring it on. I was like, holy cow, she's, you know, like I said, like they said that Benedict Cumberbatch was supposed to come in. I can see her and him going at it, dude, like doing spells, because she was even talking about like totems and stuff in that room and spells and stuff, just like what what you call it does, Doctor Strange, same kind of thing. So I think that's going to be pretty cool.
It's harder to think that Doctor Strange is going to stand any chance because WandaVision's power level just went up higher than pretty much everyone in the MCU. I think she's probably the most powerful character in the MCU at this point.
Yeah.
Probably, for sure.
I'm going to have to talk to Thor about that, and it's like, I'm the strongest Avenger.
But it's a different kind of power, though.
It's totally different kind.
It's a different kind of, I don't know, man.
But yeah, that was the part that I thought it was crazy. Like, all right, full disclosure, I have not read the comics.
Right.
I'm pretty much just an MCU, like, film dork.
You're garbage.
I know. Garbage human.
Whatever. He hasn't read the comics either.
I haven't. I'm a big hypocrite.
Neither have I. I mean, I have some, but not a lot.
Yeah. Especially with with Wanda and Scarlet Witch, like I haven't watched any of that, but like, or read any of that. I thought it was really cool at the very end of this most recent, where she was talking about Wanda essentially having chaos magic.
Yeah.
And can just like create things, like create reality essentially.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
that's pretty crazy.
Now, she really might be the most powerful at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, next to maybe Captain Marvel, but then again, controversial, y'all. I don't know how you feel about it. I absolutely hate that movie.
Oh, I think that's a decent consensus in this room. That movie's absolute garbage.
I think what happened with Captain Marvel and even with Ant-Man and the Wasp is that Infinity War was just so epic. So huge, like in a movie that how do you come after that, bro? You know, you don't.
It's true.
You know, it was
they
were okay movies, but
here's the reason why. I mean, it lacked quite a bit, but I think the biggest reason why I didn't like it was because I'm just not a fan of Brie Larson's acting.
Oh, okay.
Like,
well, she can be a wonderful actress. If
she
you
can
see
be,
Room,
but
she kills in that movie.
Yeah.
But in Captain Marvel, she doesn't show rarely any emotion, which is kind of funny because in the very beginning of that movie, they say like, "Be careful of your emotions," and she hasn't emoted anything.
Yeah.
Or her in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where he's like, asks, "You need a haircut, Scotty." And he's like, puts his hat on real quick. He's like, oh man, that was a good one too.
But yeah, you were saying something.
Oh, no. All I was saying, like, I don't see Brie Larson as superhero material.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
Definitely.
I think she's a great actress.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's a great superhero actress.
No.
Like, that's not her. It's just not her jam.
Yeah.
Like, good on her for trying to step up and do it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, when I maybe I'm just biased, but like, I watch Captain Marvel and then I watch like Endgame, and I'm just like I don't see like I'm just not feeling it. I'm not getting I'm not getting like the superhero vibe from her.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's definitely a weird element about her that just doesn't seem very hero-esque. Like she's not saving anybody.
Right.
Like in the first Iron Man movie, if we're doing origin stories, in the first Iron Man movie, he's like going out of his way to destroy these terrorists and to get rid of his own weapons. And she doesn't have that. There's not a hero aspect about her, so I completely get where you're coming from. And I'm going off topic of WandaVision a little bit. But I think where Marvel was coming from, because they wanted to do the first female-led superhero movie, and they chose Captain Marvel, which seems on paper to be a cool idea, because she's one of the most powerful characters in the comics.
Absolutely.
But with the characters that we have right now, and especially because of what they've done with WandaVision, I think we had wasted potential of just doing a movie about Wanda.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
Or Black Widow.
Or thank God we're finally getting Black Widow.
Or even, I'll even say I like to see like a Gamora and Nebula, like, you know, in their teenage years.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of cool. Like to see them.
Well, we saw a little bit
after
of that.
Infinity War. Or,
you know, but I mean, like more in depth, like them, like learn how to like be assassins and killing, and the rivalry between them, and see her like get tore apart and rebuilt. Oh, that'd be crazy, dog. Yeah, I'm in for that.
That sounds like a rated R material, but Marvel won't.
It does, doesn't? Yeah, it would happen.
Marvel doesn't have the balls. Anyway, back to WandaVision. Ernesto, I want to talk about one element that I'm not super sold, because to be 100% clear, this episode was absolutely wonderful, except when it sucked. And the things that I think it sucked with was Agatha. And the reason that I think that is we're going on this powerful emotional journey with Wanda, seeing the backstory of how she got to this point and really understanding why she just feels so upset and distraught. And then after we see those things, we get dumb as face Agatha just narrating like, so this is what happened. We just saw everything. Like after we get an emotional moment with Wanda and Vision where we see them having a moment together. And then Agatha, after the scene happens, like, so let's recap. So you and Vision had a cute conversation, and then this means this. So let's move on. How dumb do you think we are, Marvel? We saw what just happened. Ernesto, what do you think about Agatha in this episode? Because I'm not...
I don't know, man. I don't know what you think, man. I mean, I honestly don't know, man. Like I didn't think about it until you just said, like, yeah, she's like, you know, I don't know. It was okay, I guess. I don't know, man. I know she's not the focus, man. Like, you know, like she's not who I'm worried about. She's not who I'm interested. I'm interested in White Vision. That's who I'm interested in. Like, what's
yeah.
Like, I don't care about her, bro. You're spending too much time thinking about that. I'm thinking about the next episode. Like, how is he gonna fight her? Or because they showed her going into Sword and trying to read him, and she's like, I don't see him, I can't feel him. Yeah, and she walked away, and then they rebuilt him. So he's, what do you say? We're not gonna let $3 billion worth of vibranium go to waste. Mm-hmm. And to see him in the white, and his armor looks different, his costume looks different, his face looks different. Oh, man, I don't know.
That's directly from the comics too, right?
Yeah, because they Vision, because there's a White Vision, there's the red and the green one, dude, and I don't know, man. Like I think it's gonna be her versus Vision, Scarlet Witch versus Vision, and there's gonna be Agatha Harkness versus Doctor Strange. The the big cameo's coming, dude. It hasn't come yet. The big, and I think it's going to be
this
him.
next episode is the last one, right?
Yeah, and it makes the most sense. It does, you know?
Yeah. That's going to get insane.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Man, well, okay, so to what you were talking about earlier, though, like, the episode was essentially, like,
Get up on it, bro.
Get up on that. Yeah, the episode was essentially Agatha trying to figure out, like, how she did it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the recapping is coming from, is Agatha, like, each time you go through, like, the past scenes, Agatha's like, no, it's not quite it. Like, let's dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I agree that it was just, like, kind of needless, you know, for her to be like, to recap. Yeah. But, like, it was her, like, and that's where you get that awesome line at the end where she did figure out Wanda, essentially, and like, oh, you're the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. That was kind of
that
cool.
was a good name drop.
Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, I mean, it was just Agatha essentially. I thought it was because like in the comics, from what I've heard, is that Agatha is essentially like Wanda's mentor in a way.
Okay.
And so I started kind of getting that vibe a bit throughout the episode, where it didn't seem like Agatha was really like trying to. Agatha was just trying to figure out how she's doing it.
Yeah.
Or trying to figure out her magic, if that makes sense.
She's trying to do it herself.
And so, like, the only way that... Right, Agatha wants that.
Yeah, she wants that, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's not trying to be malicious on purpose. She's just finding the fastest route to, like, stir the pot, so that way she can figure out how she's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think she's going to, like, try and kill, you know, Wanda's kids. You know, like, I don't think she's really going to try and do... Honestly, I think, like, Wanda and Agatha are probably going to, like, a team up against...
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like, I think they're going to, like, be good friends and team up to basically, like, save the town, essentially. Because there's those moments in the trailer... where, like, Wanda's like, we gotta fight for this place, or whatever, with, like, the vision that she created, I guess.
What do you think, Jacob? What do you think about White Vision? What do you think about?
I'm down for it. Again, I'm going back to... I'll circle back to White Vision in a second, but on the point of Agatha, I don't even think we needed her to begin with. I think this series could have just been absolutely fine with Wanda, and the whole series is called WandaVision, not called WandaVision, by the way, Advoca. That's English. Advoca. I will now pronounce that. So Advoca. At the beginning of this episode, we get to see her backstory, and we get to see where she came from, and she came from the Salem witch trials, and then the whole twist of like, are you a witch? It's like, yes. It's like, oh, we're witches too, but you suck as a witch, so we're gonna suck your energy out.
Yeah.
And then she sucked their energy. I was like, haha! I did the reverse card in Uno, and now you're all dead.
The reverse card in Uno.
And by the way, this is my mama, and I killed my mama. So Advoca, I don't think she's needed in this entire series. I think you can just have this entire series, and I think there are ways that you can explain Wanda's backstory. Maybe she has like a hit her head moment when she's remembering everything, because you do say she has a little bit of a memory loss at the very beginning of the show, and she's like, I'm not necessarily sure how I got here, so maybe have her recap herself, where we don't have the crappy explanation of Advoca going through everything and saying like, oh, by the way, so this is how you did this, and this is how you did this, and let's recap it for the audience because the audience is stupid. But if we just get her out of the equation, we make the story a little more intimate and just make it specifically more about Wanda and her struggles, and just we get that entire episode 8, but without without that stuff, and then we build up to a battle between her and Vision, which would, for me, be a very emotional climax.
Oh, dude, that's going to be insane.
Going to be. Yeah. I mean, because it's bound to happen, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, dude.
But she's not a necessary character. Like they didn't really need to have her in there. I think they brought her in to stay true to the comics, I think.
I think they brought her in.
She is a big part of the comics.
I think they brought her in just to expand on the magic realm.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to make the magic go, like more depth. You know what I'm saying? Like they're now, there's witches out there, and there's covenants and stuff, and they're gonna, because
Wanda's gonna be in the next Doctor Strange,
and they're bringing magic into it, so they got to have more. They got to expand the universe in that length. In that kind of area. You know. So it makes a little bit of sense.
It does. It's relatability. Yeah, that's totally.
You know,
it. They're like she's not the only magical being.
And even though you don't like
magical beings,
Catherine Hahn's character, she's pulling off pretty well, man.
She is pulling it
off. If it was anybody else, it'd be like whatever. But it's her, and she does it in her own kind of way. And I kind of like her. You know, I'm not gonna say I don't think she's a waste. And hopefully she is a bad guy going forward. Dude, that'd be kind of cool if she gets like, you know, Scarlet Witch, you know, level power, and then she goes out and that's one of her adversaries. That'd be kind of cool.
It is interesting the fact that she doesn't seem to be as powerful as Scarlet Witch could be. So I feel like she's just gonna wipe her out in the next episode, even though she has her like kids in the little magical rope thing. Even though that seems like the easiest thing to get out of, the kids need to take one step back and they're out of it.
Right. Anyways.
Anyway, let me complain a little more about it. But back to White Vision. I think there's massive potential for this to be like the emotional climax. And people were saying because everything that she's created in her little wonder web of magicalness, she could create life. So maybe she could bring Vision back to life. And maybe...
Well, she essentially did.
She did.
Because it's her power that they harnessed, yeah.
And she made him a lot smarter than... he had any right to be, because he was trying to escape, and it was like, well, I have thoughts of my own. Let me get the heck out of here.
Okay, I got a question for both of you guys.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does she fight Vision and destroy Vision, or does she fight Vision, turn Vision, and Vision is we go forward with him into the new Avengers movies? Like, he's the new Vision that we have going forward. Like,
White Vision?
Yeah, White Vision. What do you think? Because I was kind of upset that we lost him, because he was one of the more powerful characters out of everybody. You know, to have him back that in a new kind of form, that kind of changed the game. I mean, that changed the game, but it would be really, really cool, I think, going with the story forward, you know?
It's tough to say, man. Because I think, well, I mean, just the way they're building it, you know, they brought White Vision online to essentially infiltrate the Hex.
Yeah. And go get her.
So I think it's going to screw with Wanda, because Wanda's going to see the actual Vision.
Right.
And, right. I think Wanda's going to see the actual Vision and feel emotional about that. But like, I think it's gonna get kind of weird, because there's the Vision that she created inside of the Hex, and then there's White Vision.
Yeah, and
so I think there's going to be two Visions in that final episode.
Yeah.
Or where they merge, bro. That'd be kind of crazy too, man. Because you see, that's not his body. That's just her manifestation. The White Vision's the actual body.
Yeah, White Vision is the actual Vision.
Yeah. So that's gonna play into it too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you're right. When these two guys come at each other, it's crazy, man.
Maybe she's able to bring his memory back. I mean, that is the real Vision. He has his real memories.
Yeah, that's right. They did talk about that.
Yeah, this could also be building up to an ending that I personally hope they go for. It's teaching Wanda to say goodbye. And maybe she fights Vision, and she ends up having to essentially maybe kill him again. But it's going to be teaching her to, like, how this is going to be her coping. This is going to be her arc. And it's going to be saying, like, I love you, and it's going to be her goodbye moment again. Because she never got to say goodbye. Because all she did, she killed him, and then got slapped in the face by Thanos, and then he killed her again. Killed him again.
Right.
So.
And then she dusted.
So you're saying this will be part of her arc, and then afterwards, like Vision will be no more? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm thinking that's going to be the case.
Oh, wow.
I think because she's going to be in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. I don't think that's going to be carrying on with Vision. So I think it's just going to be her and Doctor Strange.
Well, I kind of hope they reboot Vision and they can keep him, man, because I'd like to see him going forward. That's my thing. I think that'd be kind of cool.
What if they reboot him and it sounds like the old Windows coming back online?
Or whatever. That'd be so cool. Because I like Paul Bettany, and that part where he sits down with her on her bed and he's talking to her about, you know, like, she goes, what do you think about loss? He's like, I don't love anybody. I've never had anyone love me, and I don't know what it is to feel to love anybody.
It was that scene that I was just started, like,
and he was
weeping
he was like,
slightly.
To me, it sounds like grief is love, you know, overcoming, like being more, you know, like.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I was like, man, we need more of that, dude. Like, why would you have that and just, like, give him his best moments and cut him out, dude? You know, like, he's always been a side character, man. He's never been forefronted because he's been outshined by everybody else. And I like to see him go forward because now he can actually be a main part of it.
Yeah.
And he's one of the most powerful players they have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's why I would like to see him, not get killed, at the expense of the Scarlet Witch, but because she loves him, man. That's her husband, dude. She's not gonna want to kill him, dude. That's gonna be the last thing. She's gonna mess him up. Oh, I'm wrong. She's gonna mess him up. She gonna slap him around.
But she'll probably try and bring White Vision back.
Yeah.
Or like bring Vision's memories back.
We're gonna see something crazy. She's at Omega level power right now. Her level's up there, dude. She's doing like crazy shit with her mind. Sorry, I didn't cuss, but why not merge them? Why not merge them? I don't know, man. I think we're gonna see something epic, man. Either way, if he dies, if he doesn't, it's gonna be epic, dude.
Well, and that was also one of the things that I thought was just crazy. Like, sorry to circle back to Agatha again, but like she was like, you were doing stuff on a level that that's why like Agatha's trying to figure it out because like you're doing stuff on a level that no one. Like, she's like, I've been a witch for this whole time. Like, I don't know how you're doing this.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, you have people on the outskirts of town, like, barely functioning, but, still
Kind of
like,
jealous of her a little bit.
Oh, that's what I got. So Agatha seems way jealous.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And she's like, I thought I was the most powerful witch, and now here you came in here.
And you're not even trying.
Yeah.
I'm doing my homework and I'm not succeeding.
Exactly, yeah. Agatha's like, I've been learning about this forever, and you just, like, think about it and it happens. Like, she's like, how? I want to know how. And that's what I feel like the whole episode was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Black Nerd Comedy summed it up pretty well. Agatha is the person who is the try-hard in her classroom.
Oh,
and then
totally.
Wanda is the person who takes naps in class but somehow aces everything, and everyone hates that person.
Yeah, that's Wanda.
Mm-hmm. But final thoughts? Where do y'all think this is going? Where do you hope this is going?
I like it so far, and I cannot wait to see the last episode to see what's going to happen with Agatha, with Vision, with Scarlet Witch, with Sword. Not those other two side characters. The ones, what's her name and what's her name?
Rambo and
Maria
Larry
Rambo.
King.
I'm not worried about
Larry
those
King.
people.
He made his cameo on.
And I'm kind of upset that they didn't do anything with Evan Peters. He was just like, I recasted him. Like, I'm not bad. I'm like, whatever. I'm over it. But I just can't wait to see what happens.
It was like a little nod. I think.
Yeah, it was
cool.
a nod, and you know what? That just got people like excited. I think that was like a shock. Like, you know what? It's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be ready for it. We surprised you. We didn't go anywhere with it, but we surprised you. But it's coming. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely. So yeah, Maria Rambeau, like her character was like Photon, I think is her character in the comics.
I
think so. And she's supposed to be played by Sylvester Stallone, Rambo.
It's a different Rambo.
Oh, okay.
She's more of the French Rambo.
French Rambo. Yeah, it's spelled different.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Continue.
No. I think like they're going to do more with her.
Right.
Because they're not just going to introduce a character that just gained their powers in the show and not keep going with. So she'll definitely show up in the future, either in like another season or maybe pop up in future movies. Yeah. Right. But I think Marvel is laying the grounds for mutants for X-Men. Like I think they're, you know what I mean? Like I think they're trying to like do it subtly so that it doesn't just come out of left field.
Yeah.
And they're just like peppering it in, and they're probably going to pepper it in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, probably.
And they're going to probably pepper it in,
Loki.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And so like I feel like they're just going to keep until they can actually like solidly bring mutants and X-Men into the universe.
Definitely.
Maybe have a couple post-credit scenes where someone's at a lab or something. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Because technically Scarlet Witch is a mutant.
Right. Yeah. Technically. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, especially in this last episode. That's why like it just brought out what you already had in you, and that's the pepper.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we're hinting to mutants.
We know what we're doing.
We're hinting.
We're
to
Marvel.
Mutants.
We've done this before.
Yeah. Exactly.
And maybe that's why they can't explain what she's done, because she's actually not a witch. she's a mutant. It's different,
and that's why Agatha's like, I don't understand this magic. Yeah, because it's not magic. She's a mutant.
She's a mutant. Yeah. It's different. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's cool.
All right.
I give it a solid, well done, thumbs up, and I agree with y'all. There's no more points that I can add.
I'll give it a yeehaw.
Texas yeehaw.
A yeehaw with some stank on it.
Stanky leg. We have a metric butt ton of Star Wars topics today, starting with Bad Batch. That's going to be released on May 4th, Star Wars Day. It's going to premiere 1 episode a week. Ray Park as Darth Maul is going to be confirmed for the Kenobi series.
The funny thing, like, this is totally random, but when I first saw the
Phantom Menace?
Yeah, Phantom Menace. There you go. With Darth Maul. Like, I guess it was just at the time... the period of time when it came out and where I was at age-wise, Darth Maul always reminded me of Wes Borland, the guitarist for Limp Bizkit. And so, yeah. And so, like, I couldn't...
Who's this Wes Borland looking dude with a lightsaber? Yeah. Like, for sure.
So once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. So now every time I see Death Maul.
Death Maul.
Now every time I see Darth Maul, I'm just like, that's Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit.
Oh my god!
And I immediately start laughing. And so, like, Wes Borland, by the way, is the guitarist for Marilyn Manson's band now.
Oh really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, or it was. I don't know if he still is, but he was for like a good chunk of time.
I never thought of that, man, but I totally get the Wes Borland look like Darth Maul thing. Yeah,
right.
Yes,
because he always had like
crazy makeup and stuff. Yeah, and look crazy. Yeah,
I'm just like that's Wes Borland as a Sith, as a Sith Lord. Yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. That was a dumb, jokey time in my past.
I never made that connection, bro. Ever, man.
Well, now you won't be able to unmake that connection.
I'm like, man, he just ruined Darth Maul for me, dog.
I might have. Because if you go back and watch...
I did all for the Nookie. Yeah. What? The Nookie. Ray Park, like, he set the tone for, like, lightsaber fighting, bro. Like what it was going to be going forward. You know what I'm saying? And most of the choreography was from him because he's like a master of all. He's a master of all these martial arts, like Mushu and all kinds of. I mean, crazy man. Like if you ever watch him, I follow him on his Instagram, and he's always doing stuff for the fans.
What's his history? Like
I don't know, man. I think
he like a stunt guy for a long time in the industry.
He was just a martial arts. Like I think he's from Liverpool or something. He's from the UK,
okay.
But I don't know. He's just a really dope martial artist, I guess, from the UK, dude. And he tried to get into movies, I guess, man.
It's wild.
But yeah.
I always I personally I try to like champion those types of people.
Yeah,
just like
sure,
you've never. Like you're just like really specifically good at one thing, like martial arts, and you're like, yeah, I'm just I'm doing my thing. I'm really good at this. I really enjoy doing this. Like it brings me pleasure.
Yeah.
And then like if I'm in a movie, cool. And then like it ends up becoming an icon. Like Darth Maul is an icon in the canon in Star Wars. So like, how weird is that? Like that. Like suddenly overnight, like that dude's life is just completely different.
And he was only like 21 years old.
Yeah, he was young.
He was young. Right? Yeah, that's and not just that, just to die. Then man, just be this like awesome character from this new trilogy, and then George Lucas like I'm gonna kill you. You're like the coolest part of this movie.
But it says
and I'm gonna take it. Yeah,
it says something that there was such a fan backlash to this that they brought him back in the Clone Wars. They found a way. It's like the man was cut in half and fell bajillion miles down a big old hole, and it's like, you know what? We're gonna find a way to resurrect you somehow.
And how are they gonna fit him into Kenobi, dude? How? Oh man.
I mean, their stories are pretty intertwined. That guy hates his Kenobi, so he's hunting for him. But I don't really, like you said, I don't know how they're going to intertwine that because he kills him. Not in, I guess, spoilers alert, because you know what? I'm never going to say spoilers again because I say the spoiler and then I say spoilers alert. So he kills him in Rebels.
Right, Rebels.
So they kind of wasted the storyline. They could have done it here. And they didn't.
I just don't know they're going to use him, bro. Like
Kenobi killed him in
Rebels. Kenobi killed him in Rebels.
Again?
Again,
No,
for sure.
For real this time.
For real this
Oh,
time,
okay.
yeah. But it was pretty epic, man.
It was like one of those old-fashioned. It was the whole fight scene lasted like 2 seconds. It was like an old-fashioned samurai movie, to where the moves that you do count. So they're like trying to predict each other's moves, and they kind of do like some poetic justice, because Darth Maul, if you look at the choreography in that scene, Darth Maul kind of does the same thing that he did to Qui-Gon Jinn, and he goes for that move where he hits Qui-Gon Jinn over the head with his lightsaber and then turns around and stabs him. So he tries the same move, and instead of doing the same thing that Qui-Gon Jinn did, I don't know what I'm doing this for, Obi-Wan cuts through his lightsaber and cuts through his chest and kills him.
Wow.
Pretty graphic for a cartoon on Disney.
So he got crisscrossed. Would you say?
Applesauce.
He was cut. Yeah, he was cut in half and then cut up.
Yeah, he had to complete the cross, and then only then will Darth Maul die.
I don't know, man. Like you think about now, like now you have Darth Maul in this show, and now you already have Darth Vader confirmed for this show. You have Anakin Skywalker confirmed for this show. You have Cody confirmed for this show. Like, and it's 6 episodes, man. This is gonna be 6 crazy episodes of Star Wars, man.
They're probably gonna be crazy long too.
Yeah.
like they're gonna cram a lot. Like
They've been confirmed that they're an hour long each.
Yeah, hour-long episodes. Yeah, yeah. So 6 hours of just loads of storytelling. Yeah,
It's gonna be crazy, man. Like, and they're gonna make it all work. I hope they make it all work. I don't know, like,
Part of me really wants this to happen. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
But I feel like they had a massive wasted opportunity in the Rebels series when they didn't have Darth Maul and Vader meet somehow.
Oh man. Well, maybe that'll happen in Kenobi.
It maybe. I don't think they're going to do it though. But it may be. Who knows?
Have the two Darths meet.
I want to see Anakin versus Maul. That's what I want to see, dude. I think Anakin would kill Maul, dude. Like, for sure.
Yeah.
Before Anakin becomes.
Yeah, like Anakin in his prime, like the Anakin, like Clone Wars Anakin, like.
They're not bringing back Hayden Christensen, right?
No, they are.
Yes.
They are.
What?
He's coming back.
Yeah. That's what the report is. They're bringing him back, and they're gonna have Tamora Morrison play Cody and Rex, like they're clone captains.
Mm-hmm.
And they got those and him to do that too. And oh man, yeah, it's gonna be crazy, bro.
It's going to be one big nostalgia trip.
Because for sure, Maul's gonna be a flashback. He's not gonna be in the movie. I mean, he's gonna be a flashback.
Yeah.
But he's fighting Vader, bro. It's it's gonna be crazy. And then we get to see Anakin Skywalker in his clone armor. It's gonna be badass, dude.
Wow.
Let's get back on the Bad Batch territory. Do you know anything about the Bad Batch series?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to be of help here.
All right. Well, just for recap, they appeared on season 5. What was it? Season 5?
Season 8. Season of the Clone Wars. The last one.
The last season of the Clone Wars, and it was like a professional group of clone troopers who they send out on special missions.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, they're not. They're like they're defaulty clones. Like their clones were like something wrong with their genetic code. Like they came out like mutated. And each of them has like a different mutation. They have like a different strength.
So what they're essentially
They're like the X-Men of the clone troopers.
I was about to say sorry, y'all, but they're basically like this is Disney doing a Suicide Squad.
Oh, kind of, yeah,
kind of, yeah.
But with
stormtroopers.
Exactly, yeah.
But better.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a pretty. I didn't even think about that.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a great comparison.
Look at that, man. What are you talking about? You were not going to be of any use to us.
What are you talking about?
You were of use, man. You are of use.
Anyway, the time period of this, it happens after Order 66. So this is going to be the creation of the Empire and what their role is in this.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be a bunch of these guys. They're either going to defect from the Empire, which is probably what's going to happen, and start to rebel against the Empire. But they're going to start off on the Emperor's side. We'll get that first episode on May the 4th, Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day, May the 4th.
A very religious day.
As long as it's like, I don't know, that those cartoons made by Dave Filoni are pretty epic in scale, and they're pretty in depth, and you're gonna get a lot of good story. And if they're leading up to the creation of the Empire, that's gonna be kind of cool to see maybe some of the Jedi Purge.
Yeah.
Where they're still hunting down the leftover Jedi, which is probably gonna come up.
Oh yeah.
What's Dave Filoni's involvement in this part?
I think he's like executive producer. He's
gotcha.
He's one of the or studio head or story head or whatever. But
okay.
They're trying to give stormtroopers a better image.
Probably, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
stormtroopers typically are absolutely terrible at their jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just trying to make stormtroopers look a little cooler. Mm-hmm. They're like, they're not quite as like inept as everyone thought they were. Like they can actually shoot a blaster.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but they're not stormtroopers; they're clone troopers. That's the difference.
Get it right.
This is before the Empire.
Before the Empire. I know way too much of this.
So once the Empire was formed, that's when everybody just got inept as can be.
I guess so.
Yeah, I think they fired those guys and they wanted to hire their own people. Like we're moving
like, no, we're just gonna hire a bunch of expendable people. Yeah. I only got to pay this dude $10 an hour.
Exactly.
Whereas these clone, troopers,
$50 an hour, because they're skilled at what they're doing.
And these $10 an hour stormtroopers are, I don't care. We can go through a couple hundred of these guys. It's fine.
See, no one knows this, but to become a stormtrooper, you have to go through a rigorous training process. In that rigorous training process, you're given a manual. So when you're shooting against people, you don't actually shoot them. You shoot the area around them. They're given target practice. And as long as you don't hit the target, you're qualified.
Oh, that's perfect.
I wonder if going to Stormtrooper Academy is harder than going to Subway U.
Subway U.
The
biggest requirement, yeah.
Like, how hard is it to be a stormtrooper, man? Like, they just is
well,
it like working at Walmart? Like, anyone can do it.
I feel like they're giving handouts to people on the street and like, hey, you want to be a stormtrooper? Here you go. Here's a pamphlet.
Sign up today, and the same day you can be hired and process your social security number and get your insurance the same day.
They're not even going through a rigorous process. They're just giving people helmets and there's a line over there.
Yeah, they basically. Yeah.
And they just tell them to talk a lot.
Yeah.
So that your position is always given away.
And when you see someone, make sure to say, "Hey, over here."
Yeah. Just make sure that you're there's the heroes right there.
It should be labeled Competence, the movie. Competence, the series.
Yeah. Guilty by competence.
Yeah.
It looked pretty cool. The trailer was pretty cool. And the animation looks badass. So.
Yeah. I give it the same rating as I do WandaVision. It's a massive okay. It's a massive well done. I think you're getting the thumbs up.
6, 7, 7.5.
I get a 2.5 of 3 stars and a beer.
For WandaVision?
That's my rating.
For WandaVision?
For most things.
So it's average score?
I give it an average, well done, slap in the back.
Okay, well that's better than the slap on the butt.
You've barely graduated college, C-.
You barely, man.
Wow.
But you graduated, and that's the cup half full,
Yeah, that's what all the clone troopers get. That's their rating. Congratulations, C-. Well done. Get over there. Here's a blaster.
I got a question.
Go shoot Han Solo.
Do you think you could survive stormtrooper training?
I'd get shot immediately. I'd be the guy on the front lines wondering why I'm here. And then they're telling me, go that way. I'd walk that way. And then I'd run into one of the main characters. And then probably try and ask them for directions as they stab me in the throat.
I got a question. I got one for you too. Would you rather be a stormtrooper or would you rather be a Spaceballs? I'm sorry. From the Mel Brooks.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What am I?
You just see his reaction balls? Like what?
I mean, Spaceballs.
Spaceballs. My bad.
Yeah.
I just want to throw some Mel Brooks in there, dog.
Spaceballs is canon. For Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, no, it's not.
I was like,
of course
it
not.
Probably
but
is,
I'd like
man.
to think it is.
It probably is, man.
If it was, Han Solo would have gone plaid way more times.
Yeah. Ludicrous speed like a mug, you know what I'm saying?
Spaceball 1. They've gone plaid.
I like to think that the characters in Star Wars, if they watched television, they probably would have watched Spaceballs. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Cool.
That's how I like to think about it. It's just okay, yeah, because us in this reality, we're watching comedy shows. In the Star Wars reality, they were probably watching satire, which would have been Spaceballs, which makes Spaceballs canon to Star Wars.
That's actually a good point. He makes a good point. Hey Leia, there's this show on here, and the guy kind of looks like me,
right?
And this dog kind of looks like Chewie, but a fatter version.
In that version, Spaceballs is under a lot of copyright strikes.
I wonder if he got trouble for that, man, for all those, making all those references to his characters. He probably did. Mel Brooks was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna make a movie, making fun of your movie, but it's funny. What do you think? Go for it. Whatever, man."
They changed enough of it that it, what is it? Copyright law, you can only. What is it?
You can use a property, but you need to be making fun of it. You can copy this guy after Darth Vader, but it doesn't need to be the same character, and you need to be making fun of it.
Right, and if you can't rip off, you can't directly image-wise, you can't take Admiral Akbar and use him directly.
Right.
You can use his likeness as long as you change like 70% of it.
Oh, in that case, well, this cup that I'm holding is actually named Larry King.
Yeah.
It's copying off two things, but it's satire, so I'm not going to get sued.
Copyright law is real weird.
Real weird.
It's I got a C- in that class.
That means you're qualified to be a clone trooper or stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You graduated.
I made it.
But he's the clone trooper that goes to like the marketing section. He doesn't go to war. Like you don't need a blaster.
Like, hey, I'm gonna try and get our brand looking a little bit better here. Like,
we see you excel in that department so much.
The stormtrooper departments. It needs a rebrand.
The marketing department, and everyone looks the same, because they're all clones. Oh man!
I know we have a different topic to talk about in a second, but I want to switch to Blazing Saddles since we're talking about Spaceballs. So, Blazing Saddles is getting a cartoon reboot. So instead of live-action people, we're getting cats and dogs. Instead of a Western, we're getting samurai. And instead of a good movie, we're getting this garbage.
So you guys introduced me to this when I came in today.
I just heard this yesterday.
Idea.
Yeah,
Continuing our professional of not prepping you at all for anything.
This had me
I like going in blind though. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say honestly, dude. Because we were just talking about a Mel Brooks movie. We were just talking about Mel Brooks and Blazing Saddles was like one of his like first movies that spawned a lot of controversy, to say at least.
Yeah. Was that
not back in the day where racism was okay, but now, you couldn't make that film now.
No.
And to have them even try and touch it and to change it to like cats and dogs and samurais, and I mean, like we were talking earlier, like Blazing Saddles is a Western. You're gonna take the saddles out of Blazing Saddles.
It doesn't even look like it's not even Blazing Saddles. So what's the point of making it Blazing Saddles?
Maybe it's a coincidence.
Maybe it is.
Yeah. Maybe Mel Brooks is not involved at all.
I don't think so. He'd be more creative than that. You would think that that's just no, man. Like
maybe someone was just like, I know a good title, Blazing Saddles. And it's somebody that has never seen Blazing Saddles.
Probably.
And so they're just like,
it's a reboot.
Surely no one has used these two words together for something creative.
Mm-hmm. And then they found out.
I invented, I came up with the term Blazing Saddles. That's the only explanation, is somebody's just dumb and doesn't isn't aware of the first film.
Yeah, man.
Or the only film.
Then they make the comparison as like, oh, that's a title out there. Great. Oh, it's a movie that came out back in the day. And it's like, oh, what's the movie? Watches the movie. Well, this is different.
Yeah, this is not what I pictured Blazing Saddles would mean to me.
I feel like this is something that Mel Brooks finds on his phone one day. He's like at a bar, like 3 beers in, scrolls on his phone, finds this, like, hey, look at this garbage. Look at that.
And it looks more like Kung Fu Panda, man. Like,
it does.
So, yeah, clearly whoever made this is not aware of the first.
I don't know, man.
I gotta look this. I gotta look this up.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of this, man. Like,
I gotta do a deep dive tonight.
Samuel Jackson's like, attached to be a voice. Like,
he doesn't turn anything down. So I mean, if I was Samuel L. Jackson,
he's getting ready for retirement, dog. He's trying to stack that. He's living fat, right?
He's already living great.
He's good to go. He can retire now. He just I'm convinced he just likes it because he's fun.
Yeah, he's just screwing around at this point.
If that's the case, can he be on the show? Can we get Samuel Jackson be on our show?
I mean, he's gonna ask for a lot of money.
Yeah.
But
I'll pay him $10 to come.
He's like, you want me to be? He's like, you want me to be on a movie called Blazing Saddles with some ninja cats and dogs? Oh, you gonna pay me?
Yeah.
You gonna pay me? You want to put my name on this? Yeah.
No, I feel like he has enough money to where he's like, I'm a free Friday. I'll go do that. Yeah, sure.
I don't know, man. I just don't see like how you do that, or like. I just don't know, man. It's obviously like this guy's never watched the first movie. Like he said, he's just like, hey, Blazing Saddles sounds like a good, idea for a movie title, and he's never seen the original.
Clearly,
because it doesn't make any sense, man. Like, I don't know, man.
Is it? Are they trying to do like a I guess Asian. Well, I mean, there's comparisons, I guess, between like samurai films and westerns.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there totally is. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I mean, there is, but I just don't know, man, because it's like a comedy and it's
with animals and samurais. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like,
it doesn't make any sense, and I just heard about it, and that's the mountain I'm dying on.
I'm gonna go watch Blazing Saddles, and the whole time I'm gonna be thinking cats, dogs, and samurais. How do we make this into cats, dog? I'm just gonna start to think. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do that in the program.
I feel like this is one of those like drunk executive pitches to where they came into the room and they said, you know what, this is a great idea. And Blazing Saddles, instead of this, let's do cats and dogs. Instead of westerns, let's do samurai. And then they went home and was like, I did this as a joke. And then they woke up in the morning, saw it in the news, like, no, I took it seriously.
I mean, what other Mel Brooks could you like remake though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know.
Like Men in Tights. You couldn't. I don't think that would. Maybe.
That movie is still
pretty funny.
I mean, it's up there in terms of one of the best comedic movies.
Mm-hmm. And
like Men in Tights, Dumb and Dumber.
What else?
I mean, Dumb and Dumber is one of my favorite.
Dumb and Dumber is a masterpiece.
Yeah, which is okay. So speaking to your point about like, if whoever's making the new Blazing Saddles, if they, have seen the original film, like. Maybe that's why they decided to go the route they did, because like the original film could not work like anymore, would never work anymore.
But you would need you don't need to say that. You could just make that movie with just like samurais and cats and dogs and not call it Blazing Saddles.
That's true. I mean, it's
like, it doesn't even hold the brand property at that point.
Yeah, it doesn't hold the brand at all.
You could just call it another movie to be fine. Why and then say, hey man, this is a reboot of this. It just doesn't make any sense.
Maybe because it is such a racially insensitive movie, and then someone watched that, like, you know what? What's the least offensive thing that we can pull out of this movie?
Maybe I just have lack of vision. I don't know, man.
Speaking of people who get offended, perfect segue. So there's some controversy happening online right now about Rosario Dawson joining Gina Carano and possibly getting canceled for a tweet that she made a while back. Now, I don't know specifically what she said on the tweet, but that's a possibility that Rosario Dawson could get to that point where she will receive the same treatment that Gina.
No, did. She's not gonna get that treatment.
I'm not saying she will. I don't think she will.
No, dude, if they fire Rosario Dawson over some BS, man, then,
oh my gosh.
I mean, there are like Star Wars fans are already like boycotting like their stuff right now, man, online and stuff, dude. Like,
because she so perfectly captured that character.
She did.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah.
Like. Unbelievable performance.
Mm-hmm. And I will say it's kind of different with Gina Carano, because Gina Carano is playing one of the new characters, but Ahsoka is one of the most popular characters right now, and she did it. She brought that character to live action perfectly.
Yeah.
And so to fire her after one of the best betrayals of one of the Star Wars characters out of the lot, I think she absolutely killed it. I don't think it's not going to happen. They're not going to cancel her.
It's the same people that got Gina Carano fired. They're just trying to see how much Disney will put up with them. Like how far they can go.
Yeah.
I mean, there's reports that now they want like Henry Cavill like fired or out of Hollywood because he used to date Gina Carano, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
any association. Like if you knew this person, clearly you agree with all their stuff.
That's where cancel culture gets just off the rails.
Crazy.
Because it's just like once somebody who is really passionate about canceling somebody, they just go down the rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you, your friends, your family, anyone associated with you, cancel them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I love the internet, and I also absolutely hate it. Absolutely. And it's going to only get worse. But like, I don't understand cancel culture very well at all. I don't know why that brings any satisfaction to somebody. Like, let somebody have at least like some sort of freedom of speech. If somebody is directly having hate speech, then yeah, I'd get it. But like to just, I don't know, go after people directly, and then go after everyone associated, like you were saying, go after everyone associated with one person, even if they're not even associated with each other anymore.
Yeah,
like Henry Cavill used to date her.
Yeah,
right?
like it was years ago, like back in the day, man.
What? You're just taking it too far.
Like what? Like
she can be a piece of crap, but like he might not be. You know, like don't just attack somebody because they were previously associated with somebody. Yeah.
It's an interesting. I'm sorry. Did I just interrupt you?
Oh no, you're good.
Okay,
keep going.
It's an interesting mindset to be in for someone. Like I don't think these. I'm pretty sure like these are the same people who like leave comments on YouTube videos.
Oh, absolutely.
Who like I don't understand like how much time you have on your hands. How useless can you actually be in society to think that you saying something is going to actually affect this many people.
It's to use, I don't know, it's moral balls, I guess. Yeah. They're moral like balls. they're flexing some moral balls. Trying to flex some moral balls. And honestly, like the platform of the internet, ambiguity is king. So the same people that are like cancel culture, like the same people that are calling people out on the internet, if that person was face to face with the person that they were canceling,
they wouldn't be like that.
They would not. No, they would not be like that at all. You can be whatever you want on the internet. That ambiguity makes you, invincible.
Yeah. And even so, like, why do you want to take the time out of your day to ruin this person's life?
That's exactly it. Like.
Look, there's quite a few people online that I certainly do not agree with, but I'm not going to take time out of my day.
It's not worth it.
Like, you know what? I'm going to write very angry comments online and just try to ruin this person's life for one thing that they said.
It's not worth it. You know,
it's not, and it's amazing to me that this is a culture that's been brought to life now. That these people who are not, I'm sure these people are not the productive members of society, have now been encouraged to like say, if you don't like this person, then we will get rid of them for you. Like, really?
And half of these Twitter like profiles, they're all like bots. They're not even real people. They're just people like writing something in disguise. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's crazy, man. You know, like I don't know. I don't know. I think it's pretty wild that like. So
do we know what Rosario Dawson even said?
They said that she made like I think it's
I think it was a tweet based on like the trans.
Oh yeah. You were saying that.
Yeah. Don't quote me on that because I don't know 100% of everything. I only heard the news of Rosario Dawson possibly getting canceled, and that was part of it. But I don't know if this was even.
But she also like explained herself and squashed the beef with that person. That person was like, we got to figure it out. It was just a misunderstanding. Because I mean, she's even played a gay character. Why was she having? I don't think she would be like that, man. I don't.
Rosario Dawson's always seemed like a very down-to-earth actor to me.
For sure. You're like a down-to-earth person, not just an actor, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Even in Clerks 2, she was just kind of playing herself, a down-to-earth person.
Yeah.
That was her hottest role. Well, to me.
Think so?
Absolutely, man.
Clerks 2?
Yes.
She was awesome. Better than Clerks 1. Hot take right there.
She wasn't in Clerks 1.
Which one with that?
Whoa.
Anyway.
That's hot sports opinions right here.
Mm-hmm. And my opinion is fact. Unlike the people who are in cancel culture, whatever I say is true.
But yeah, man, like, I don't know. They're trying to see how far they can go. Yeah. How far they can push these people, man.
Well, Disney has elevated their opinion. They say, like, if you don't like this person online, we'll get rid of them for you. I don't think the hashtag, when Gina Carano was fired, the hashtag fire Gina Carano was going online. And that's how Gina Carano figured out that she was fired. She looked on, she didn't get a phone call from Disney. She just looked on social media and it's like, oh, I'm fired. Okay.
That's
harsh.
That's real harsh.
That's like coming in on Monday morning and then they're telling you fired. And you're like, hey, man, you could have just called me and let me know instead of wasting my time.
Yeah, showing up Monday morning, the door's locked. Everyone's in the office, and you're just like, "What the hell, dude?" And then you call, and
like, "Hey, buddy."
You call into the office, and you're like, "What the hell, man?"
Like he doesn't work. Yeah,
and they're like, "Yeah, so
you don't work here anymore."
I mean,
but then you find out on like on Snapchat or on Instagram that you got fired. You don't get that phone call.
Yeah, it'd be like me rolling up to the office and Ricky, like posted something on Instagram, just like Pete's finally gone.
Yeah,
like yeah.
But like you were saying earlier, Peter, it's not people who are doing something that's morally right. It's tweeting online.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like this person. That's not, like, you would never say that person. Like, even if I disagreed with someone that in Hollywood, I would never say that to their face. And none of these people would say that to their face. They're doing it because their opinions have been validated online, because now just opinions just holds more value thanks to social media and people and all the cancel culture crap that's been happening.
And like what it kind of reminds me of is like a weird, like, internet entertainment industry version of customer is always right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like Disney is just gonna like fire an actress because the public doesn't like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the customer is rarely right. Coming from I've spent over a decade in retail industry, and the customer is hardly ever right.
Ever like, right, yeah.
Hardly ever
For
right.
Sure.
It's one of those people, it's the Karens of society who just feel the need to ruin someone's day by complaining to the manager. It's like, my drink wasn't as sweet as I normally as it normally is, so I'm going to scream at you and ruin your day and try to get you fired because it wasn't correct.
Yeah, because I was mildly inconvenienced.
Yeah,
like mildly. Like that's where like I feel like people are taking entertainment in those doses as well, where they're like, I am, I don't know, mildly inconvenienced by this actress. Like, I guess it's also bursting like fantasy bubbles for people because they're like a lot of people take entertainment as like the word of God almost. And so they're just like, oh man, like if this person is anything different from their character, I'm going to like try and cancel them.
Yeah.
I'm mildly inconvenienced. I'm going to complain to the manager about it. So people complaining, that's basically what's happening. It's a bunch of people complaining to the manager, Disney, and Disney being like, sure, we'll bend over backwards for you. We'll go ahead and get rid of all of these characters.
But like the complaint ratio, like if you look at these signatures, it's like 500,000 to 1 million signatures. That's a lot of signatures. But if you look in like how many like fans are for her, it outweighs it by a crap ton. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's like I would say like 90% to 10% that maybe it's for her.
Yeah.
So if that's the deciding vote, then why would you even pay these guys any attention, man? Or just do an investigation into it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I hate to be the kooky dude, but it all boils.
Nah, you kooky?
Not at all.
You're joking.
It all boils down to. I mean, like Disney wants to make money.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So like, if it makes more sense to push an actress out that's causing controversy,
that's gonna
in favor of making more money, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna err on the side of capitalism well before the thoughts and opinions of a person.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I hate to say it, they make great content, but like, they are pretty much the Starbucks of entertainment. Yeah. Like at this point,
they're encouraging bad behavior,
right? And like Starbucks, for example, and the reason why I use that is I used to work there. They will bend over backwards for pretty much anyone.
Yeah, it's an interesting comparison because when I was younger, I think many people have made this comparison before, where an entire generation grew up on South Park, Family Guy, and these are the same people that are now offended by everything.
Yeah,
we grew up on these shows that were blatantly offensive, and we knew it. But we're not.
And we were okay with it.
Yeah, we were not, because because you don't have to take these things to heart. I grew up on the mentality of you are responsible for how you feel and what you get offended by, and there's no personal responsibility now. Like I feel like back then, like the 2000s era, if people were like complaining online about some person, like No, we're not going to fight. Like, no, we're not firing this person. Screw you. Get out of here. But nowadays, people's opinion has been elevated. And like I said, Disney has been encouraging bad behavior. It's like, oh, if you are mildly inconvenienced by this, the Karens out there, we will be getting rid of this person. Even like Gina Carano, who seems to be just a very lovely person. And again, people can have their opinions about what she said and what she actually meant. She doesn't deserve to get fired. She's a sweet and kind person.
Well, and also, like, I mean, plenty of people would disagree with me on this, but, like, Twitter is an open platform. Like, you shouldn't get in trouble for what you just say online.
No.
You know, Twitter, plenty of people use Twitter as just kind of a bouncing board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, our previous president did, you know? Now, granted, why he's not on there anymore is because he incited violence. But, like, if you're just speaking your mind, like, you should be allowed to do that, and you shouldn't lose your job over it.
Exactly.
Unless you are specifically
inciting violence.
Yeah, inciting violence.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's the problem with people.
Or hate speech, I mean,
yeah.
you know, but, like, obviously it's subjective to a lot of people, but, like, but still, I mean, like, I don't know. It's a difficult topic.
People are different, and I don't think
that's exactly it.
Yeah. And if you're online, I don't understand why you wouldn't think that. Like, not everyone is going to agree with you. Not everyone is going to have the same opinion. Because we all have different opinions about many different things, but we can all sit down and have a conversation about those opinions and not scream at each other all the time and not want you to... I don't want to ruin anyone's life just because I disagree with them. And that mindset of is like, I am going to absolutely ruin your career, ruin your life because I don't agree with you on this specific topic. It's a horrible and immature mindset to have, but it's something that Disney is saying, you know what, you can do this.
Yeah.
Ernesto, you were saying something?
I mean, you're allowing these people that are just starting beef just for the sake of starting beef.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just starting, just to start it, man. And then they're doing it under, like, false profiles, man. If you're going to start some crap and you actually think that you're offended, then come out and show your face. Mm-hmm. And because these days, man, if people have a beef with, with sex and all that stuff, they're going to come out and be proud that their voice is going to be heard.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit behind some fake freaking profile, man.
Nope.
They're going to come out and show themselves because people are proud these days. And if they got a beef, they're going to show you their beef and they're going to show you what it's about. These people are just, they're starting beef and starting crap and getting this ball rolling of hate and they're just doing it for fun.
Which is funny
because
they say
that's what I'm saying. You know
it's
what I mean?
It's like being a troll.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
It's funny because these people pretend to stand up for hate. Like, we stand up against hate. We stand up against tyranny. And at the same time, they're hating on these people that maybe don't agree with them or they just don't like. You're trying to just screw these people over. Yeah. And it's like, you don't understand, like, the hypocrisy.
Most people don't understand the hypocrisy. Most people don't understand that they're being hypocritical at all. Like, and I'm myself included. I can be very hypocritical. Yeah.
But, I mean, on this show, I've been like hypocritical 600 times.
There you go.
Continue talking because I'm.
But you don't see it when it's happening.
Yeah.
No, I'm not hypocritical at all. I'm always politically correct. And say the right thing and do the right thing. These guys are losers. I don't know what these guys are talking about.
Ernesto's never actually been wrong.
Ever.
Hindsight is a glorious thing because you can, like, but you need to pay attention to it too because it's just like, okay, I was saying one thing and doing a completely different thing. Yeah. Like, I need to make myself better, and then, like, if enough people do that, then we won't keep running into these problems. Mm-hmm. But, like, yeah, I mean, to, I guess, say it the most PC way possible, like, cancel culture, internet folks are just they're getting their rocks off, without any accountability at all. Mm-hmm. And so, like, they have the mask of the internet, and that's the whole reason why this is happening. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and
you see people also trying to apologize for that. When there's any controversy online, celebrities
people do
out there
will
they'll apologize. Is like, oh no, I apologize about this. I didn't actually mean that. Which is funny because that didn't change anyone's mind. You're not improving the situation. You didn't actually change their mind. They're just trying to apologize because they just want to keep their career. They want to continue doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
You never change their mind. All you're doing is creating an environment that makes people afraid to say something outside the norm.
Yeah. Wasn't there like a whole... Yeah. There was like a whole documentary... I don't remember. I just remember this. This was years ago.
Yeah.
I just remember watching a trailer for it, but it was a ton of comedians did this documentary talking about this. Where they're like...
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just like talking about like what is PC and what's not, and then like how like nowadays this was it was like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, but it was a ton of comedians. And they did a documentary series, or it was just one movie, I guess. But yeah, you can't say half the stuff that you used to be able to say, especially as a comedian. Like, I mean, comedians have definitely been, under the heat lamp for sure. Mm-hmm. Like, but yeah, you can't. I mean, times are completely different. Like, that's why.
That's why what you call Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
It won't work, man. Like it's a different time, bro. Like that crap don't fly. It don't fly no more, man. Mm-hmm.
That's why it's not Blazing Saddles. Like whatever they're making, it's not Blazing Saddles, and like it might share a name, but it is not.
Yeah,
it is discount garbage, and it's unfortunate.
And I'm not trying to advocate that it's okay to be like overtly racist.
No,
or even racist in general.
It's that's like me wanting to do a reboot of Born East LA with like otters and like seals, and we're gonna reboot it, and it's gonna be like the hood and like the garage. I don't know. It's like at a
river hood.
Yeah, the river hood at the lowrider shop or something.
That's Freedom's next movie. The river.
Like you can't make that movie these days because that's very sensitive, getting deported and trying to, come across the border. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
I think it's important to like tell these stories though. Like it's important to tell these stories.
It's important to tell them, but to animate it and to like, if you're gonna go there, man, go there with some freaking respect. Not with that.
Have some balls.
Like there's a way to tell that story today. But it's gonna be hard to do that, without offending people or anybody. But if you can do it and you have the ability to do it and come with some heart and some real talent and some genius, because this stuff was genius back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's got
comedically.
It's got to be genius, man.
Yeah, man.
It can't be some BS. It's got then maybe I would take it for real, but not no dogs and cats and samurai. You know what I mean?
Okay, that is going to be it for episode 6. Is 6, 7? I don't even remember.
8.
Right? Episode 16. Episode 16.
The Phantom Menace.
Of the Zillo Boyz Podcast. Thank you for watching, everybody, and thank you for our 38 subscribers. We appreciate every single one.
Thank you, everybody. We love you.
We're a very small channel, and we appreciate everyone who listens and comments and enjoys our podcast. Even if you don't enjoy our podcast, we appreciate you listening in. Thank you very much, Peter. You're the man. You're the myth, the legend. We always love having you on.
Happy to be here.
My man. Thank you for coming and stopping by, brother.
Anytime.
Great, man.
For sure.
And tune in this Wednesday because we are going to be having a special podcast. It's going to be a debate for the final Star Wars movies. Which one is the best? So Return of the Jedi versus Revenge of the Sith versus Rise of Skywalker. Tune in this Wednesday. Check that out. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you don't mind. And also, if you don't mind, download our podcast on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. And, Ernesto,
and hit that thumbs up.
Please.
That's right.
I always want to say that.
Click the link and subscribe.
That's right, baby. Do all that stuff Peter just said.
Yes, sir. Ernesto, let's kick the bucket.
All right, baby. Let's roll those credits, man. Good show.